Good evening, and welcome to a gentle journey through time, designed to calm your mind and prepare you for restful sleep. Tonight, let's soften our thoughts with a slow voyage to the ancient world, to the golden sands and gentle sun of Egypt, over 4,500 years ago. As you settle in, close your eyes and let your breathing become slow and easy. Picture the wide open sky stretching above the desert, the soft whisper of a warm breeze stirring grains of sand, and, on the horizon, those timeless, graceful shapes, the pyramids, standing patiently for millennia. Traveling back to the past, we arrive at the age of the Old Kingdom, around the year 2600 BCE. Imagine a world so distant that trees we see today were still saplings, continents hadn't shifted much, and the Nile flowed with the same slow certainty. In this ancient landscape, the pharaohs ruled, believed to be living gods, guardians of order, and keepers of powerful secrets. For these kings, life on earth was a chapter, while the afterlife was eternity. The pyramids arose from this belief, a profound desire that their names, memories, and spirits would last through all of time. The materials used to build the pyramids were as enduring as the people's ambitions. Most of the blocks were limestone, quarried from nearby cliffs and shaped with simple copper tools. For the interior, where it mattered most, they used granite, much harder, heavier, and hauled from quarries in Aswan, hundreds of kilometers further up the River Nile. Picture the pale, creamy blocks of limestone catching the sunlight and the deep pinks and grays of granite, smooth and strong. Each block was heavy, sometimes more than a car weighs today. The biggest could weigh over 70 tons. Without engines or electricity, and no wheels that worked well in the loose sand, the Egyptians relied on ingenuity and effort. According to historians, the most likely method was to use ramps, long sloping paths made of mud brick, limestone chippings, or desert sand. Teamwork was key. Dozens, perhaps hundreds of laborers would pull the stones on sledges, their feet crunching softly on the sand. To make the work just a little easier, water was poured along the path, turning the grains into a slick surface, letting the sledge slide, if only barely. Step by step, grunt by grunt, these teams inched the stones toward their final positions. Some imagine logs used as rollers, but in Egypt's hot, dry desert wood was rare, and evidence for this is not certain. Building a pyramid was not the work of a season, or even a few years. The greatest pyramid, called the Great Pyramid of Giza, was completed in about 20 years. Think of that. 2 decades of steady, careful labor, day after day, under the shifting desert sun. Every day, workers placed and fitted over 1,000 massive blocks. All told, more than 2 million stones were set into place. The pyramid's final height was nearly 150 meters, its sides pointing precisely north, south, east, and west. A feat of incredible planning and precision. But who were these workers? The old story says slaves, but modern discoveries paint a different, gentler picture. These were paid laborers, often farmers whose fields were flooded by the annual rising of the Nile and who used this time to serve their king. They lived in nearby villages, well cared for, fed a hearty diet of bread, beer, onions, and even meat. Their work was grueling, but also a point of pride. They contributed to a project that united the whole country, a national effort that would stand long after their own time. The Egyptians built with tremendous skill. Despite the lack of advanced surveying technology, their alignment was so precise that the sides of the Great Pyramid differ in length by less than 20 centimeters. Their tools were basic: twine, plumb bobs, wooden levels, and rods. For orientation, they looked to the stars, aligning their great structures with celestial bodies, guided by the slow, eternal dance of the night sky. Inside the pyramids, everything was built for the afterlife. The king's burial chamber lay deep within, surrounded by treasures for his spirit. A golden mask, precious furniture, food, and elaborate carvings. Hieroglyphs adorned the cool stone walls, promising protection and safe passage to the world beyond. There were false doors for spirits to pass through, winding corridors, and sometimes cleverly hidden chambers to confuse would-be robbers. Despite these precautions, most tombs were looted centuries ago, their riches scattered, but the stones and stories remain. The pyramids have endured because their design is unshakably stable, wide, heavy at the base, narrowing gently upward, built from countless stones placed with care. Without mortar, every block fit tight against its neighbors, resisting time's battering. Sandstorms have scoured the stones, the Nile has changed its course, and earthquakes have rattled the land. Yet the pyramids endure, the only survivors among the 7 wonders of the ancient world. They remind us of human patience, organization, and the strength found in unity. One stone, then another, then another. Now, as you relax more deeply, let your mind return to that quiet desert. The work is done for the day. The sun glows low on the horizon, washing everything in gold and soft shadows. You are surrounded by silence, punctuated only by the faintest calls of distant birds and the endless sigh of the wind. The pyramids rise behind you, their angles softened by dusk, timeless and serene. Think of the patience it took to build them, the years spent, the hands that shaped and carried each stone. Think of the peace that lingers across those empty sands, the steady witness of stone to passing time. There, in that stillness, you let your thoughts slow and unwind. The past stretches out, ancient yet quiet, undemanding, offering its gentle reassurance that all things, even the largest challenges, can be approached step by patient step. Allow your breath to become still softer, your mind lighter. Imagine the heat of the day fading away, the air growing cool, a feeling of calm washing over you with every gentle breeze. You rest beside the pyramids, under a sky filled with stars older than any pyramid, in a peace as old as time. As the night deepens, you drift gently, leaving behind the noise and hurry of today. Wrapped in the silence and soft history of the Egyptian sands, you let yourself drift, stone by stone, thought by thought, into restful, peaceful sleep. Good night.